Red Cross is needed and is there when it's needed and where it's needed.
If it hadn't been for Telecross, I would just have had to lie there and hope that it would pass. Knowing that call from Telecross is coming, my mind is at ease.
He said, are you living at Rough? And I said, yeah, I am. And I started crying and he goes, look, come in to Red Cross Night Cafe and we'll have a talk.
I was sent in as a team leader with a very small team to go to Kono. When we arrived, there was the Kono General Hospital was in a completely dysfunctional. The hospital had no cleaners, so it was filthy. It basically had no water supply. It had Ebola patients mixed up with general patients. So our first priority was to try and sort that out, which we did over a period of days.
Red Cross in Liberia were doing all of the safe and dignified burials in Monrovia, and they had 15 teams working day after day as one piece of the response.
The Red Cross, I say bravo to them, because if not for the Red Cross, maybe some of us, we have not been alive for now.
I've come here to see this devastated place. It's completely destroyed. About 60 houses completely destroyed. Even the walls and the houses which are still standing cannot be rescued. So the community here has really lost everything.
Bombarded with news stories on refugees, but feel like there's nothing you can do?
What we did was collaborate with the team from Go Back to produce an education package, which is for Australian high school students to help them understand the facts when it comes to asylum seekers and refugees.
Conflict separates families from their loved ones. When a family finds their loved one, the feeling is amazing.
Red Cross managing to find my uncle and his family in 2014 is still life-changing, and it is very life-changing.
After like a couple of months, I got the response that my kids are alive. I couldn't believe it. Really, I couldn't.
Hi, I'm Munjid Almuderis. I'm a doctor, a refugee, and a proud Red Cross ambassador. I strongly feel that as an Australian living in a first world country, we have a duty of care toward our fellow humans, and there is a lot more need to be done.
Our emblem saves lives. We want more Australians to know what it means.
Through these role-play activities, known as Raid Cross, young people experience simulated armed conflict scenarios in a uniquely direct way.
You always hear about Red Cross, but you never truly experience what they do.
I donate blood because it saves people's lives. That's why I do it, and it's only an hour of my time.
When I first heard about the Martin Place siege, I was pretty upset.
I was totally stunned.
Well, I was pretty devastated.
One of the most difficult 36 hours in our history.
The level of anxiety was a heck of a lot higher. I just went into professional mode and, into normal Red Cross mode.
Sydney's CBD has become a shrine.
Generally in a flood or fire situation, people have had that experience before, and it's quite predictable. But this was unpredictable.
I feel proud of the work of the Red Cross because of the impact we are making in people's lives, and we are doing this, I believe, in a very great capacity, and we're trying to help as much as we can.
Red Cross came to our class to teach us how to be ready in an emergency.
So what special things would you put in your emergency kit?
Yes. A torch. First aid kit. Teddy bear.
Once a disaster happens, it's never over when the fire ends or the floodwaters go down. That's not the end at all. That might be the end of the response part of it, but recovery is a really long-term and complex journey for a lot of people.
Red Cross has been so good, helpful to me, and that's where I became a volunteer. Still today, I'm still going.
16 young people from 3 remote communities. Brought together by Australian Red Cross, they find common goals at Udialla Springs on the banks of the Fitzroy River.
Hello, my name's Julie McCrossan and I'm a proud Red Cross ambassador.
We need your support to continue our valuable work at home and further afield.
Whether it's helping people cope after a disaster, providing safe drinking water for a remote village, or a daily phone call to an elderly person who lives alone.
Life can be tough sometimes. We're not always kicking goals. Red Cross has your back.
This August, I'll be baking a buttery cinnamon tea cake to support Red Cross.
I volunteer at this Red Cross store as my way of giving back to society.
Strategy 2020 is our roadmap to the future, and we want to be there for generations to come for the vulnerable people of our communities.
It is a great pleasure for me as patron to welcome you all to Government House to mark the 100th anniversary of an icon in our society.
Sustaining an organisation over 100 years is pretty amazing.
Commitment when others turn away, that really is a very powerful message.
From a foundation of strength, we will build a new, more diverse Red Cross that appeals to a new generation.
We are at our best and strongest and most effective when we build that respect between us and our different roles that we play, but come together to make a difference.